What happens when a company's founder and CEO is more interested in creating a global lifestyle brand than in running a profitable business? The answer is WeWork, the real estate firm that, from the outside, was the perfect example of a Silicon Valley hype. How did a company once valued at nearly $50 billion fall so far, so fast? Was it financial mismanagement? Was it all the shocking scandals? Or was there more? In this video, we'll explore the spectacular rise and fall of WeWork and the reasons behind its failure. Meet Adam Neumann, the eccentric entrepreneur who's more than just a tall, long-haired, barefoot, meat-banning, weed-smoking, tequila-drinking, Kabbalah-studying, experimental school-opening cousin-in-law of Gwyneth Paltrow. He's the founder and ousted CEO of We Company, the real estate firm that famously purchased the copyright for We from none other than Neumann himself. Step aside, Elon Musk. Adam Neumann's ambitions were just as wild as his larger-than-life personality. According to Fast Company, the WeWork founder wanted to do more than just rent desks. He dreamed of creating a company that would transform every aspect of people's lives, both in the physical and digital worlds. From residential housing to education, Neumann envisioned a future where we dominated everything from sleep to banking. While some of these ideas may never come to fruition, perhaps he was right to think beyond the typical office space model. Unfortunately, the company he built is now in crisis. It was a spectacular fall from grace for WeWork. After filing for an initial public offering of shares, the company's fortunes took a nosedive. Within 6 short weeks, founder Adam Neumann had been ousted from his CEO position and had given up his majority control of the company's stock. WeWork's proposed valuation plummeted by over half, and the IPO was scrapped altogether. SoftBank, the company's largest investor, stepped in to take over. The writing had been on the wall all along. WeWork's extravagant projections for the shared office space market, which counted anyone with an office job in a US city with a WeWork as a potential member, were far too optimistic. The company's culture and strategy were beholden to Neumann's bizarre ideas and whims, and its finances were in shambles. It was a cautionary tale of what happens when ego and excess collide with reality. From the get-go, WeWork's business model was expensive and lacked a clear path to profitability, as BuzzFeed first revealed in 2015. But it wasn't just the company's questionable finances that drew attention. Founder Adam Neumann's bizarre behavior, from walking barefoot in meetings to his penchant for tequila, was part of WeWork's quirky brand image. However, this year's scandal was different. Allegations of self-dealing and self-enrichment by Neumann added a new layer of damage to the company's already shaky reputation. Despite his stock selling and leasing of partially owned buildings back to WeWork being previously exposed by the Wall Street Journal, the added scrutiny was enough to send the company spiraling. It was a cautionary tale of what happens when a company's brand image is built on shaky foundations. Even at the height of WeWork's success, the skeptics in the financial press never bought into the hype. The Wall Street Journal's Elliot Brown, who had been following founder Adam Neumann closely, had described the company as a $20 billion startup fueled by Silicon Valley pixie dust back in 2017. Brown had called out Neumann's attempt to rebrand office space subleasing as a physical social network and expressed doubts about the company's actual worth. Yet, despite the doubts from those in the know, WeWork's valuation continued to soar. At its peak, the company was valued at a staggering $47 billion and was even told by Morgan Stanley that it could be worth over $100 billion. It was a classic case of a company relying on Silicon Valley hype rather than sound business fundamentals. WeWork's subleasing spree won't leave behind towering monuments or abandoned airports, but it has quietly transformed the skylines of New York, San Francisco, Seattle, and Boston. Their discrete signs and logos now mark the already existing infrastructure that has been infused with billions of dollars. Yet, with an average lease length of 15 years and a $47 billion payment obligation, WeWork's risky rental strategy resembles that of financial institutions relying on short-term borrowing. Will this subleasing juggernaut be able to weather the storm? The downfall of WeWork was not a result of investigative journalism or the gradual decline of a company like Uber. Rather, it was a frenzied social media condemnation fueled by the re-airing of widely known facts in a new light. What was once seen as amusing or perplexing suddenly became horrifying. And this time, it wasn't teenagers on Twitter condemning mediocre TV shows, but middle-aged men dissecting a 220-page financial statement in real time. It was a stunning example of how public opinion can quickly turn, and how a company's valuation can crumble almost overnight. The larger-than-life figure of Adam Neumann, with his barefooted eccentricity and grand visions, led the company on a wild ride that ultimately crashed and burned in a frenzy of public condemnation. Despite desperate attempts to salvage the situation, including returning millions for the name We, nothing could save the company's plummeting valuation. Bankers proposed drastic cuts, Newman was ousted, and the IPO was scrapped. Even with the recent deal to cede control of the company to SoftBank, Newman remains a very wealthy laughingstock. The Japanese conglomerate is buying $1 billion of WeWork stock from Newman, along with a whopping $185 million consulting fee and $500 million to pay off a loan from JP Morgan. As if that wasn't enough, the Wall Street Journal reported that SoftBank is even covering Newman's $1.75 million bill for using WeWork's private jet for certifications and other jaunts. Despite his apparent downfall, Newman is still laughing all the way to the bank. WeWork had wrapped itself in a lofty rhetoric about changing the world, a message that clashed with Saudi Arabia's authoritarian regime and religiously conservative society.